Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Good.
What are you doing over there? Are you sitting in our new soundproof vision switching booth with your little vision switcher there?
Absolutely.
And your little Atomos Ninja?
Absolutely.
And why have we done all of this crazy business, Mark?
Well, we're trying to cancel out the echo that comes with the territory of being in a gallery space with cement floors and hard brick walls as well.
Yep.
So we're trying to be deafening that and softening that as best as we can possibly do.
Lovely.
I think it's a pretty cool setup.
Hello everybody, it's so good to see you. Yes, we've been listening to you, not only about the acoustics, which we're doing our very best to fix, but that is what this video is about. This video is about listening to you in general. And it's about what is going to be happening on this channel. We are rocketing towards 10,000 subscribers, which is a number that I never dreamed I would ever get anywhere near. And just in the last 6 months, I've gone from like 3,000 to 9,000. And I'm thinking maybe sometime in June or early July, we'll hit the magical 10, and that will be an astonishing milestone from my perspective. But what that says to me is responsibility. I've got responsibility to continue to be meaningful to you. And that's super important to me. Like I actually take it really seriously. As they say, take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. And I totally agree with that. So I like to have a joke, I like to have a laugh, but I also take very seriously fulfilling what we're all looking for here in this space. And we certainly don't want to waste each other's time, do we? We all want to be on the same page. Further to that, I'd just like to say I'm very mindful of the fact that it is an absolute impossibility for me to please every person all of the time. It's never going to happen. Sometimes we're going to have to agree to disagree. So that's okay. So as long as we get that out of the way and, I don't know, we're hitting an average of 80% or 60% of what I do is on the money, I would feel that's pretty good. For example, another example of this for me is an album. Imagine you buy an album from your favorite artist, whether it's Aerosmith or Adele or, I don't know, anyone you can think of, Aha or Kanye. Honestly, when does every single song on the album a winner? We've got singles and we've got album tracks. You don't always get winners every single song. And it's the same with my calendars. I say to people, it's okay, you don't have to like every shot in my calendar. I'm overwhelmed if you like 3 out of 12. I think that's awesome. It is impossible to please everybody all of the time. This video is about finding out the best way for us to keep enjoying each other's company. Let's talk about that. What's prompted this video is the fact that just last week I popped out a little piece that was regarding a theory I've had and others have had around the capacity of the Z mount. Now, a video like that has the potential to reach a much larger audience than you normally have. And yes, that has absolutely been the case with this video. It has reached a large audience, and that is very exciting. I'm so pleased. And the video that just went viral, well, that got picked up by Nikon Rumors, and here it is on Nikon Rumors, and it also got picked up by Petapixel. So I'm very excited about that. Petapixel also wrote a bit of an article to go with it. Thank you very much, Petapixel and Nikon Rumors. But what that means is you get an influx of new people, which we love. I love new people. But the new people don't really know who I am and what my style is and what the 200 episodes that have come before are about. So I want to say to you with an open mind and an open heart, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you here. It's a joy. And I really want to hear from you, both new and old. What are you interested in hearing from someone like me? Who am I? To reiterate, for those who don't know, I've been a working photographer since the age of 19. It's my 30th anniversary. It happened in April this year, April 15th of this year. It was 30 years of me being in the game. I've published books, I've worked as a commercial photographer, and actually I was very excited because, of course, we're still in the pandemic. I was very excited to get a call from one of my agencies just yesterday about a photo shoot. It's so exciting. Hopefully it happens. They're still working on it and social distancing and all that, but I might be shooting next Monday, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I publish books, I publish calendars, I run galleries, and this here is my gallery space, which is in the suburbs, that we're here during the pandemic because being in the city is a little bit difficult. You can get a sense of who I am. I have tried not to be the standard photography channel. The reason I started this channel was because I was probably watching YouTube for, I don't know, 5 years. And I started watching because I wanted real world reviews of cameras from real photographers to understand whether they met my needs. That's why I started watching YouTube. I realized that they were working YouTubers and they had channels about photography, which is totally groovy. It's totally cool. I'm not criticizing it, but what it meant is they weren't actually giving me information that was relevant to my use case. Now, use case is something that I talk about a lot. Everybody's photography needs are absolutely unique. From you to you, to you to you, times a million, we're all doing something slightly different. And so real world usage, and when I say real world usage, I don't mean having the camera for a day or 3 days and whizzing around a little bit and then making a review. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for someone who's in the trenches, actually having to get stuff done, holding this camera in their hand for a day or a week and delivering something under the real world pressure of a commercial environment. That's what I was looking for. And I found it difficult to find. And in the end, that prompted me to be here. So that's why I'm here. And I'm telling you all of this because thus my channel might appear to be a little bit different. And my emphasis is not on being as slick as possible. That's not my goal. That's not my emphasis. My major emphasis, the thing that's most important to me, and I would love your feedback to understand if you feel this is important too. I'd love to know. But what's most important to me is real world usage and having a deliverable that ends up being used in the real world where there's expectations. What I mean is I want to show you a camera or a lens that's going to be used, that is used, not for the purpose of a review, but it's used for the purpose of why it was built. It seems like a subtle difference, but a review is looking at things and a spec sheet and just looking at it all very technical, whereas I'm more interested in how well does it fit in your hand and how long does it last for and how rugged is it? You know, all these things that don't necessarily exist on a spec sheet. And then there's something larger than that. Often these camera reviews seem to be in isolation and they seem to come with the notion that anyone can just jump from system A to system B to system C to system D without there being any impact. Certain YouTubers will say, this camera here is the best value and you should get it. But they don't take into account that you've got to sell your whole other system at a massive loss to do that. That's not real world. That doesn't make any sense. The majority of photographers out there are already invested in something. So I'm here to try and be real world. I'm here to try and get us out on the street. It's not happening as much at the moment. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And just show these cameras being used. Sometimes it's going to be a bit rough. Sometimes it's going to be a bit raw. But I kind of think that's part of the potential charm. And as has happened during the pandemic, and I want to just talk very briefly about the fact that this channel, since we've been in lockdown, has changed. Two things have changed. One, we've gone from 1.5 episodes on average a week to 3. Now that means there's going to be a slightly different style of content because you're doing it more. Because you're doing more, you can't always have a camera review or you can't always have a lens review because there just literally isn't enough gear to do that. And two, I've pretty much been bound to being indoors. Here in Melbourne where I am, we've just been announced that we can kind of go outdoors, but the reality is the pandemic's still here. We've already had little spikes of a second wave. It doesn't feel that comfortable, people. We're stuck indoors. We've got this global pandemic and we have to just change the style. So it's not going to be as full with as much adventure as it might normally be. Again, another question I have, I would love your feedback. Would you prefer less episodes a week, say 2 instead of 3? I'm not sure. I said at the start of all of this, none of us knew how long it was going to last. I just wanted to be here. I wanted to be a constant. I wanted to be something for people to come to that they're familiar with and feel good about. And so that's why we're making 3 episodes a week. As the channel edges towards the 10,000 subscriber mark, which I am super excited about, thank you all so much. I've now got the opportunity to have channel subscriptions. This is very exciting. Now, once a channel gets to this sort of size and this sort of level of output, yeah, it starts to be a very big part of your life. I'm asking for your feedback to find out how we can make this channel as much as what you want it to be. So in regards to subscriptions, I'm going to turn that subscription option on soon, and I would love anyone to come on board. And I will, when I actually turn it on, I'll talk about it in more detail as to what will happen and what you will get for it and what it will do. It's a really meaningful thing for the channel. And however you might be involved, but everything really helps the channel and helps us improve. We're certainly working hard at it, as you saw with our blankets and our lights and everything else that we're doing. I've got more time to make these as well, so that helps too. I'm experimenting still as to what this channel is. This is a giant experiment, but something that's of most importance to me is about being original, following my heart and following my mind and giving to you what I think is going on from day to day. I'm going to be myself. I'm not always going to be as slick and as magical as some of the other people out there. And if you're comparing me with other people, my suggestion is don't. You like this or you don't. And feel free to give me constructive feedback. I love that. So lovely people, I want this to be as useful and as meaningful for you as it is for me. Please share with me your thoughts. Do we want more practical? Do we want more theoretical? Do we want more dreaming? What do we like? What do we want to do? Are we getting it right? 50% right, 75% right, 90% right? From my perspective, I follow a number of channels, and I would say there is only a couple of channels where I watch every single video. And just because maybe 50% of videos I don't love, it doesn't mean I'm upset, it doesn't mean I leave, it just means I don't watch them. And then the ones that I love, and I like, and I watch. So please, let me know what works for you. I'm sorry this has been a video about the channel and not about photography, but I really want to create what we all love. As always, if this is your first time here, please subscribe, please share, and most importantly, can you please comment? This video is about hearing from you. I really want to hear from you. All right. Thank you very much. See you soon.